Hello, everyone.
Yes, Marc, you can go for it. You are currently
Perfect.
live.
Yeah, good. I will start sharing my Chrome window. Here we go. And then I have my presentation somewhere. Oh, it's over here. Good. Well, welcome everyone to my it's quite short talk about it's more about structuring your track data in the reports and in dashboards, so that people that are less used to Matomo and tracking in general can actually read it or get something out of it. This is probably or very likely going to be the least technical presentation today. And I think it might be a little shorter than 30 minutes. We'll see. But I'll try to give you some pointers or share how I try to work with my clients to get them the numbers that they want in their work. I'm a web strategist here at Digitalist. I work with Thomas and have worked with other speakers here today. I forget names now. But I've been working with SEO and digital strategy for 14 years or so. I try to see myself as like a product owner together with my clients. So I try to see the best for the client and the end users in all the time. Last maybe 2 or 3 years, I've been working a lot with the Matomo. I've been working heavily with big government agencies such as the Pensions Authority and the school authority as well. Getting up like big KPIs into like readable and actionable dashboards, but also working data driven with their UX teams and stuff like that. So I've been getting all these tips and tricks to get the most out of Matomo's report features. Because not everyone is a professional like Matomo person or a web strategist. Here are some of our clients, but for today we could just focus on having worked with the ones on the left, the government agencies. So today or now in the afternoon, I'll talk a little bit about tracking in general and tracking the right stuff, not focusing on everything, making sure that you are data driven also in the actual process of gathering data. We want to see too that the data we get is structured in a way that the one that receives it can use it directly, the way they would like it, the way they are used to use the data. We can translate this into a brief. This is how I work mostly. There's like a group of internal users at the organization. They're not analysts or web strategists, but they need numbers and they want them neatly and not so much clutter. So let's go back a bit to why we track. The usual way of tracking for the web might be to just you deploy a new site or a new feature or new content or on the web, and just try and make sure that there is measurement on it. So someone will call you and like, oh, do we have a Matomo or Google Analytics on this? And then nothing happens with that data, but we keep collecting it. And then there is more proactive web analytics, where you actually, before you even implement the tracking script, you have a plan on what you want to measure and why you are measuring stuff and what you want to do with the data. This is something Thomas has talked a lot about, so you might have seen this before, but I want to lift this. So data has different maturity levels. For a start, you, of course, when you gather data, it gets spit out in the Matomo report interface, and then we have the actual analytics of the data, and then you have insight data. So the value of reporting is that you can actually start analyzing. There is nothing there if you don't have like a goal with the reporting. And then when you analyze the data, you can start creating different insights. So that could be answers to hypotheses or and then when you have insights, you can take data-driven decisions. You can stop or withdraw some feature, or you can say that this works, now we can test the other thing. So what we try and deliver today, what I'm going to show you, is to have the reporting data as close to insights as you can, so that the decision makers in the organization can focus on their job of being, taking management decisions. So there's a measurement plan that we use at Digitalist. This is a lot of text for you guys to see at once. We could focus on the part all the way to the left, the organizational goal and the website goal. When someone comes to you and say, we want tracking on this new feature or this bundle of news pages or this new web property, you really need to ask if they have worked out any like website goals. What's the point of this website, and how does it connect to the organizational goal? And if you could get this down on paper, and if everyone can agree on it, and you could start filling out the actual metrics and the dimensions in Matomo or maybe in the CRM, and then you know that for each trigger or for each little thing you start to measure, you know that it's connected all the way back to the organizational goal. So it's like a big base or a safety net for you to just thread this needle once, and then you can be more secure about focusing on the reports and the dashboards for the end user, which we'll get to later, because everybody in the organization will get a dashboard that fits them and their needs. And believe me, they have very different needs. Like the different target groups in an organization might be the product owners. Maybe they're closest to me or to us, and they take decisions on maybe A/B testing and deploying new content and stuff like that. Then you have leadership. They just want to see maybe not even all the KPIs, but just one of them, the main one. We have SEOs and content editors that have maybe an interest in just following up that what you're doing is good and where they are lacking. UX, UI, they usually get maybe their own Matomo admin, so they can manage themselves. But it's very good to actually give them a good set of reports, and maybe at least set up the events for them in a way that they could read them, because we know Matomo better than them at the beginning. We have communications, ad agencies. Now we're looking more at like the ones that need their dashboard to report on and follow up on what they're doing. Same as strategists and business developers. But when I get this a new web, or I try to start implement both Matomo and this huge measurement plan one step at a time, I would like to start by maybe looking at, for example, putting event tracking on say some usual, something that everyone on the company organization always uses. Maybe it's phone clicks or email clicks, or in this case call to action. So perhaps we could have just primary buttons or whatever, and we could put that event into the behavior dashboard. And then I don't know about you guys, but I think the downloads and outlinks reports in Matomo, they are lacking some, like, what do you say, not finesse, but they're lacking the information I would need to dive deeper in what pages stuff are happening on, what the actual click text might be, and stuff like that. Because if you want to dig deeper into different downloads or outlinks, because that might be one of your bigger KPIs, then that report isn't really working. It's very hard to do like a deeper analysis of this data. So we try to dress the events with better information. Sometimes we have to create variables to feed into this. I mean, on downloads, it could be that you need the name of the file instead of some huge just number, or we might have to talk to the front-end developers, or the one in charge of the design files to add something into links or into download links, so that we can get a nice, beautiful text object to read. But that's part of looking at the demands for implementing the measurement plan, to have this dialogue with the developers. But yeah, this is something that goes with all the event tracking, to try and address the events, so that we actually could do analysis, and someone on the outside could use it without thinking too hard. And as I said, we try and thread this little needle of why are we tracking this link click? How do we name it so that we could remember it correctly? And how it's always linked all the way back to the organizational goal, so you don't waste waste time and space. So all the metrics that are in your data set are hopefully linked in some way to an area of a business goal or KPI. So then it's much easier to start naming your custom reports or dashboards after this, the example you see here is from MSB, Swedish, I don't know, beredskap in English, but yeah, contingency planning authority. This is about NATO. So the thing about custom reports, instead of just try and teach the users Matomo, is that if you want like all the stakeholders at an organization to learn Matomo as good as you can, just to filter out and create stuff by themselves, they're going to have to get training regularly, and there are new people coming in and stuff like that. So I've been changing my way of work a bit and just try and work with what they want in the end, the stakeholders. And then from there, it's much easier to just use custom reports and use very good naming standards in the custom reports, so that they can find their own field in there, and just clean out all the clutter that's in the regular reports. So here we could just get hits and visits for a certain event. And let's say you put this in a dashboard next to the page views. It's very easy for them to start getting conversion rates, or and stuff like that. And then you could so here's like an example from MSB's Matomo. So they have, first of all, the NATO campaign first in the naming standards, and then for each part or each area, they have a report, or each metric. And then if they go further, they have a dashboard where you collect, we go back, where you collect a couple of these into each dashboard. So there's like a common thread all the way from the beginning, where you have like meetings with the stakeholders, and all the way over here when they get this. And then they can give you feedback, and then you can adjust these reports and dashboards with them. So I'm gonna let you look at this title for a minute. We have some clients that like they go really into, so each client is different. Each client have their own KPIs. Some clients don't even like to talk about KPIs, which I like, because sometimes it's just metrics, and a bunch of metrics might make up a key, a KPI, for example. While some clients really want that detail all the way down, so they might want to have a trigger named after the main KPI. This is EM1 is that KPI, and then they also name it in the tags so that it's super clear to follow. And here you see more tags, so they all have respective triggers. And then they all have, maybe I can show you later, but they all have each of the trigger or the tags here have actually like a different goal. And then because of the naming, we could have a pattern where if event category begins with or contains EM1, then just allow goal to be converted. Well, this is not for this one, but for another one. So if you could measure all these goals individually, or you could have like, if one user converts one time, that's enough. So they can follow the goals on different levels depending on who the client wants to report to. And here you can see also, as with the MSB, a selection of custom reports. And here is the actual dashboard for EM1, where all these custom reports are. So the measurement plan, let's get back to this. As you can see now, you have links to all these reports and dashboards, but also at the bottom you have different sheets for maybe putting in the KPIs that you got from the client, the funnel steps that you would like to have, and you can talk to developers and you can invite them to this sheet. And here you could have, for example, that when this happens, I want to inject code for, or like a event for Matomo to be triggered on. So this is like a living tracking document for any user that's involved in this. And you can always, if you have a new website, you could just clear all this and start over with the same base. This is actually it. As I said, this might be the shortest and least technical one. Do you guys have any questions, or should I demo something for you? I'm not sure if I can demo that much because these are government authorities. Yeah, that's it, I think, for me.
Hey, Marc.
Oh, hi. Sorry, I got the mic shut off.
Yeah, no problem. I'm sorry, I had to take an urgent call. So
Yeah.
as a result, I didn't have the chance to hear about
No problem.
conference at all. I'm just sorry, but by chance, this event is great. So everything is recorded and I will have the chance to catch it up later. So in the chat, okay. So we have a question from Thomas, which is, what would you like to get as a contribution to make your job easier?
Oh, that's a very good question. I will actually have to think about that because, yeah, that's very hard. I would like to no, it's very hard to actually have a straight answer to that. I will have to get back to Thomas, actually. I'm a bit tired. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm currently looking at the chat. So we do not have any other questions coming in. Okay. Any questions that you would like to ask yourself, Marc, or that you want the audience to ask you during this conference?
No, I just thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'll get to do this again.
Okay.
Very
Thank
nice.
you very much, Marc, for your contribution and your conference, which will be available in YouTube within very soon once I finish the stream.